Hey guys, welcome to Reddit Brew. Today, I will be reading from the r/EntitledPeople subreddit, so let's jump into it. My entitled aunt wants to switch houses. So this is the first of probably many stories of my mother's entitled sister. I'll call her Jackie. This is going to be a lot of context before the main story, so please bear with me. Jackie is the middle sister, with my mom being the youngest of 3. My oldest aunt on my mom's side will be Maria, since she is a saint, to put up with my entitled aunt Jackie. So Maria, Jackie, and Mom. Maria was always the caring nurse, eldest sister, who took care of everyone. My mom was the youngest, who loved cheerleading and being the boss lady of a corporation before giving it up to be a stay-at-home mom for me and my sister. Aunt Jackie, on the other hand, she was the pretty, smart, and petty sister that always got all the boys in high school, but afterwards spiraled. She never tried hard, she didn't graduate from college until she got a social worker degree at a community college. I pity the poor kids that had her as their overseer with how she just treats people in general. Her mental health took a nosedive as her looks apparently got worse after high school. From her perspective, she got plenty of attention, but any positive relationships she's ever had, she destroyed. As a kid, I knew there was something up with her since she always seemed negative or had something pitiful to say. She would snap at everyone and cry about how her life should have been better. She would also tell little me from aged 7 to 11 to give her my Christmas money before my Nana and Pop, my mom's parents, finally shut her down. She was living with my Nana and Pop from when she was 26, well into her 50s, before they finally had enough. She's always been a moocher and plays the victim in every situation, even if the story she's telling was never even hers to begin with. Sorry for the long background of my Aunt Jackie. While I don't have ill will towards her and understand her frustrations with her life, her decisions and attitude are what cement her leech-like image in my brain. During the global crisis, I've been staying at home with my parents in our house. This 4-bedroom house has been with us since I was born, almost 30 years, in a neighborhood that grew around it. The neighborhood would years later become an impressively expensive area, with McMansions and golf courses as far as the eye can see. My parents have finally, as of this summer, paid off the mortgage of this impressive and amazing house, and I love living here with them. I pay them rent and water bills as well as food. I have a great room, and I'm not too far from my office and the store. Plus, I get to cook for my mom and dad for their opinions on my recipes. Win-win! My Aunt Jackie has her own 2-bedroom house and has for a couple of years now. Problem is, she doesn't take care of it or herself. My mom has gone on more than one occasion to clean out the house for my aunt because she is physically disabled. Aunt Jackie only screams at my mom about what to do like she's her slave, but refuses to help or praise her. I've wanted to go with my mom to act like a buffer, but she refuses, saying I'll just end up getting guilted or tricked. I've been pretty firm as of late, but I have been known to forgive things more readily than others would allow. So during the pandemic, we haven't seen her, but have had phone conversations. Well, last weekend, my Aunt Jackie called my mom to check in. Hi, haven't talked to you in a while. How are you? Good. Everyone's been doing well as can be during this time. That's nice. Now that vaccines are rolling out, it's going to be nice to see everyone again. She always leaves a pause after she says something to try and get more information out of people, or make her voice sound weaker and more pitiful. Yeah, we usually keep to ourselves, so we've been good so far with distancing. What are you looking forward to once everything goes back to normal? Well, I can't wait to come visit. My house has gotten so cluttered lately. I'm thinking of getting a bigger house for all my stuff. Really? Why don't you just get rid of some of the stuff you don't use instead? Selling houses are tough right now. Actually, I was hoping you would just let me have your house. I have so much more stuff, and your house is so much nicer and cleaner than mine. Jackie, I already told you no. This is my house and my husband's house. Eventually, it will be OP and her sister's house. I have no intention of selling it. Oh no, I don't want to buy your house. Just switch with me. You and your husband can have my house, and OP can live with me over there. Number 1, what makes you think I'll let you have my house? And number 2, why would OP be staying with you in my house? Well, you've had her for long enough, don't you think? She makes all these amazing meals for you and helps around the house. I figure she can just keep it up, but for me. But she'll have to pay for the internet, electricity, water, etc. I mean, she has a job, and I only have my little old pension. And with your husband still working, he can pay off the mortgage for my house. Jackie continued with her delusional rant for a few minutes, with my mom looking at the receiver like it spewed fire at her. Finally, after a few minutes, Mom got angry enough to cut her off. You are not setting foot in my house, and you sure as hell are not going to use my daughter as slave labor. You are out of your goddamn mind. Good night, Jackie, and then hung up. My mom then had to pop open a bottle of red wine and told my dad and I everything that was said. While Mom was on the phone, Dad and I were eavesdropping from the other room, praying Mom wouldn't let her come. We were so relieved Mom put her foot down. It turns out Jackie called Maria to complain about what Mom said to her, spinning a sob story about how cruel of a little sister she was for not giving up her house, and how she was going to be all alone until she could rent an RV to go live with Aunt Maria. Suffice to say, Aunt Maria shut that idea down and told her to stop trying to force herself on other people at almost 67 years of age. Update. Okay guys, this has just gotten more stupid. Crazy Jackie called my mom just a few minutes ago. It's not even 8 a.m. yet here. Sad about how their last conversation went. She was sorry about asking for the house. Instead, she is willing to settle for my room, and I can take her house. Her reasoning? OP is thinking about getting her own place anyway. I can just transfer the mortgage to her. It will be sad not to have her stay, but she needs to leave the nest sometime, right? Mom was simmering, hasn't even had her coffee yet, and said, no, she's welcome to stay here until she saves enough money for her own place. It will be her decision, not yours. Mom put her on speaker and walked into my doorway, as I'm working from home and my room is right next to hers. But she's old enough. She shouldn't be living with her parents at her age. She should just get a boyfriend and move out on her own. She looks right at me with my mouth hanging open. Well, husband and I love having her here, and she can get a boyfriend and move out whenever she feels comfortable. But that will not be dictated by you. Also, if she leaves, who's going to pay the water bill and groceries or make my favorite pizza? You? No, why would I be cooking when I'd be the guest? Well, OP pulls her weight around the house, is my tenant in the meantime, and saving for her first house. So I don't see why we would be bringing you in. After that, Mom starts walking back to the kitchen, and I get back to work. I didn't hear the rest, but my mom is half asleep and is just brushing her off. That is, until Jackie had the nerve to ask for us to renovate the garage to make her a room, since my living there probably saves them so much money they would be able to afford it. Mom just screamed, "You have a house, now live in it!" I burst out laughing and have been sitting here trying to type it word for word. Thank God for long Zoom meetings and not having to have our cameras on. This is why I always tell my little brother and sister to pay no mind to those bitchy, quote-unquote, cool kids at school, because you do not want to peak in high school. And Aunt Jackie is a prime example as to why you don't want to peak in high school. Great googly moogly. We all know why Aunt Jackie is so adamant on moving in, because she hates living on her own and having to do the bare minimum for herself. I really hope OP's mom stays strong with her boundaries and never caves in, because she will be her sister's slave if she allows her to move in. Personally, if I were OP's mom, I would go very low contact with Aunt Jackie, because she needs to stop getting enabled by having her house cleaned by someone else. She's 67, not a child, and needs to stop being catered to like she's a moody teenager. I also love the hypocritical statement Aunt Jackie said about OP being too old to live with her parents. Meanwhile, she lived with hers until she was 50. Like, okay, these people's logic never ceases to amaze me. It seems like everyone has that one aunt or uncle. Do any of you guys have any entitled aunts or uncles? I personally do, and I could write so many stories about them. Jeez, I sure do have a lot of stories I need to write for you guys, don't I? But anyways, that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed that Entitled People story. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I truly appreciate when you do, and I will see you in the next Reddit story. Bye!